Hello, celebrity gossip enthusiasts. I'm Us Weekly's entertainment director, Travis Cronin, and you're listening to Us Weekly's Hot Hollywood podcast. The podcast show where we break down all of the hottest news in Hollywood, all of the ridiculous, all of the fun, all of the things that you need to know to, strike up conversation at a bar, at a party, or just, forget that the world is on fire and focus on the beautiful celebrities, which is what we are going to do this 45 minutes. Luckily, I am joined by my two lovely, one calls herself a ginger, the other really should just start, co-hosts. We have Gwen Flamberg.
Hi, guys.
And formerly baby girl, now baby woman, Sarah Huron.
Hi, Travis. Hi, Gwen.
Hello. Well, guys, we have so much weird and fun news today. I just want to jump right into it and start with our woes. Sarah Huron, what story made you go woe this week?
Well, I don't know if our listeners have been keeping up with usmagazine.com's new coverage of Jana Kramer. But we're basically JanaKramer.com these last couple of days, specifically myself, because we had a pretty bombshell interview with her ex-boyfriend, Ian.
Yeah.
They were only together for 6 months, but he decided that he's doing the opposite of taking the high road, and he's spilling the tea, which I can appreciate, Ian. He's a former Navy SEAL. Thank you for your service. And yeah, the major highlights, him accusing Jana of wanting her married co-star from her last Lifetime movie to leave his wife for her.
That's very Jana behavior.
Yes, had a signed poster or a signed picture of this man in her bathroom for 3 weeks when her and Ian first started dating, allegedly, supposedly, reportedly. Just like a lot of stuff about her alleged manipulation tactics, the toxicity of their relationship, him wanting to track her phone. Some wild quotes about the therapist. Ian claims that Jana has admitted that she lies to every single one of her therapists, and then when the therapist catches on, just gets a new one. And the current therapist, apparently all her best friends now go to too. And Jana has supposedly, reportedly, allegedly convinced her best friend, who's also her podcast host, to leave her husband now. And Jana has also befriended Ian's ex-wife. So she's part of the queendom. Jana has responded in saying that Ian is twisting things and upset because Jana actually caught him cheating. So now he's trying to look like the better person. He denied cheating on her, didn't admit to cheating on his ex-wife. So just two toxic, messy people who came together for 6 months and are now giving us insane quotes. So if you want more or want to read his exact words, I highly recommend Googling Us Weekly Jana Kramer.
Wow, I honestly feel way better about my life and all of my relationships in it. Gwen Flamberg, I hope you do too, and I can't wait to hear what made you go whoa this week.
I certainly do. And first of all, thank you, baby woman Sarah Huron, for going deep into Jana Kramer so the rest of us don't have to read the expert on usmagazine.com. But guys, another crazy relationship moment of the week. Brooklyn Beckham, son of Victoria and hot David Beckham, those two, the parents, have an incredibly strong relationship. Brooklyn just married his love, that American actress Nicola Ann Peltz. It was in a wedding that was very star-studded in Palm Beach. We thought that their love story might have just, they did it, official, let's move on. Oh no, Brooklyn has tattooed his wedding vows onto his body. All right, not just a sweet token of love, maybe a small symbol. The entire speech of his wedding vows, including things such as, Nicola, when you walked down the aisle, you took my breath away. You look so beautiful tonight and always. Having you in my life is the best thing, and that has happened to me, as you've made me become the man I am today. I've been looking forward to this day for so long. I promise to be the best partner, the best husband and man, to always take care of you, to make you laugh, feel safe, and most importantly, loved. It goes on and on. He concluded with, I can't wait to live our dreams together and have lots of babies and be yours forever, because you are forever mine. She certainly is.
That's so many things to have tattooed on you.
It's a very, very long bit of prose. It might be in the Guinness Book of World Records, the longest prose ever tattooed on one's body. Now, This is not Brooklyn's first tattoo for Nicola. He famously has her eyes tattooed on his back.
Yeah.
So let's hope these guys buck that trend of celebrities who tattoo each other and then split, because this guy would have to get like a full body transplant if these two ever split up.
That's also like the most generic wedding vows I've ever heard in my life. Like if you Googled like men's wedding vows, it's just like all the cliches that we've heard 100,000 times. If you're gonna get it tattooed, like maybe like a unique personal thing that isn't what everyone has said 100 million times.
And you can cut things like tonight you look so beautiful. Like that doesn't need to be remembered on the vows. Like maybe like the promises you
Cut
made.
the
Like
copy down. Yeah.
How
about just one little bit that reminds you of that awesome moment at the altar, a little private thing between the two of you? Oh no, he literally is wearing his heart on his sleeve with about 500 words.
I honestly don't, it's haunting, but I sort of like the eyes tattoo on the back that he got because they're really well done. Like the eyes are really beautiful and look like they're looking at me. It's really, really creepy to have someone's back staring at me. But you know, it's a Beckham back, so that's fine. But I honestly think it's a really pretty tattoo and I oddly sort of like it, even though it's sort of creepy. Well, God, that was a woe, Gwen. That sure was. Well, my woe is pretty woey too, and I'm calling him Dr. BJ, and he is Travis Barker's doctor. And on the most recent episode of The Kardashians on Hulu, Kourtney told people that her auric cleanse expert, told her auric cleanse expert that her fertility doctor instructed her to ingest Travis Barker's sperm. Kourtney said, he told me that something that could help was drinking his, well, we'll say sperm, like 4 times a week, she said as she chuckled. And then Travis Barker said, I love this doctor, adding that Travis said that he has grade A sperm. I don't think that's how babies are made, but I'm not a doctor. So thank you, Dr. BJ, for all of this weirdness. I you know, when you think you've heard it all, then the Kardashians surprise you with a new episode on their Hulu series. It really is. We thought we knew it all, but we had no idea with the real world.
No, it was a big wow for sure. That and that Kim has 30,000 pieces of clothes in storage.
Yeah, that's a quite hefty amount of clothes. That's like a whole, like the trash island probably thing if she just threw the bunker, you know, in the trash. Great. I hope they're all happy together. I hope she likes visiting them. I know, you know, it's Carrie Bradshaw times 100,000. Well, let's get into the news because the first piece, it is Kardashian related. We have talked about Kourtney and Travis's wedding. Over last weekend, they got married in Positano, Italy, in one of the most lavish weddings I think the world has ever seen. There was a welcome dinner on Friday, a pre-wedding yacht hang, just the normal things. And the ceremony itself, which everyone took boats to. Dolce & Gabbana sponsored the castle, sponsored the looks for everybody, bridegroom, every family, kids. I mean, just everything, the pillows that were around, the fabrics, the sweatsuits the next day. And I was reading today that there was a digital media advertising specialist that said that Dolce & Gabbana raked in about $25 million in what would have been online advertising for sponsoring this wedding because of how many eyes saw all of the posts. Now, I know. So what stood out to you from the wedding of the last 10 years? I mean, it was a lot.
I mean, here's the thing. First of all, these two, by the third wedding, like, does anybody really care? This is why they had to do this over the top media integration, basically.
Yeah.
Now, things that I really liked that the pieces were archival. A lot of the pieces that were worn were from the late 90s. I mean, this is Y2K inspiration and what everybody is wearing now. And it kind of a great message about denouncing fast fashion. And if you're going to wear Y2K fashion, go vintage, don't support fast fashion. However, Dolce & Gabbana, they have been very outspokenly homophobic, racist. They have really put their foot in their mouth a bunch of times. And I feel like they spent a bunch of money for the Kardashians to basically be sponsored to put themselves back on the map in a new way.
Well, Gwen, I think you're also forgetting their most iconic Instagram comment where Mr. Gabbana, not Dolce, commented under a picture of the Kardashians and said that they were, quote, the cheapest family in America.
Yes, that too. So I just found it all to be in exceptionally poor taste. It just similarly, and I still can't get over this story, so I'm sorry guys that I'm still talking about it, but similarly to how Kim dressed up as Marilyn Monroe and Kris Jenner dressed up as Jacqueline Onassis, this was in similarly poor taste, if not even more poor taste. That said, I really did like the black dress from the first night of the
I did too. It was my favorite.
I absolutely adored for the actual wedding ceremony, Kourtney's veil, which had that giant Virgin Mary motif, which was inspired by the tattoo on the top of Travis's skull.
Yeah.
But the dress was like, come on, like really lingerie, like this is what I wore to the beach in the 90s. Like, come on, this is not something that a bride wears. And I liked, I really liked what Travis wore all of the night. I really have been loving what he's been pulling out. But I just thought that, and Travis and I think you and I had side conversations on the gram all weekend long.
Yeah.
Like everything looked so cheap. It looked like the seams were going to come apart. It just looked, it did not look
a little H&M-y on some of the kids too.
Shine, like Fashion Nova.
Yeah, yeah.
And the whole thing just sort of hurt my heart a little bit. I love Portofino. I love the Amalfi Coast towns. Like it just was a little too, and I don't really understand the messaging other than people make money here.
It was money.
I like is that, please lean into vintage and away from fast fashion, but these people made archival vintage fashion look like fast fashion. Ew.
I was just gonna say I liked how Kendall walked up the stairs. Sarah, what did you like about the wedding?
I thought it was honestly the worst dressed bride and wedding guest that I've ever seen in my entire life. Okay. I didn't like anyone's outfits, and I don't know much about fashion, but I thought everyone looked really weird and didn't go together. And like, why was Chloe wearing a crown? And why is Kourtney like wearing tighter, smaller dresses than she ever has? It's just it was not classy at all. And I thought it was strange. And I also just wonder, like, when and if this relationship does not work, like, does she start wearing not black again? Like she literally just changed her entire personality as far as fashion wise with Travis Barker.
This is what she's done through this entire relationship. She has completely morphed into him.
Exactly.
From the first week that they were dating.
Insanity.
Does she have a personality? Does she have her own identity? And she's a mother of several.
And watching the Kardashians now, you see Kim like going through this like identity crisis because she let Kanye do the same thing to her.
Yeah.
So I just feel like we're about to see the same thing again. Like, it doesn't make any sense to me. But my biggest takeaways, besides that it hurt my eyes, was who wasn't there? Rob didn't make the trip. We know that he's camera shy to some degree, but kind of interesting. It's his big sister's wedding. I know it's the third, but he wasn't at any of them. Obviously, Scott didn't expect that, but it was interesting. He was at a strip club in Scott fashion. Yeah. Corey Gamble, not there with Chris. Yeah. We've heard that doesn't mean they're broken up. Yeah. And Devin Booker being the only significant other. Obviously, Pete Davidson was doing his final episode of SNL, so I get it. And Tristan and Chloe are no longer together. But what about Travis Scott? Like, I just think Devin Booker, of all people, we probably see him the least interacting with the family. And I guess they weren't filming the show because I know Kendall refuses to have Devin on it. So maybe that's why he was there. But I thought it was really interesting to see who did and didn't make the cut.
I just can't believe they weren't filming the show. It's like the one thing I want to see is like this and behind the scenes of this crazy wedding and all of this faux opulence, and there are no cameras.
I know. I mean, maybe they're going to be like home video footage or something, but I didn't see cameras. And I also feel like, I know that Kendall doesn't want Devin on the show. So the fact that he was there made me feel like it's not going to be a big thing, but I did like Alabama Barker, like was doing the Lord's work. Like she kept going live on TikTok, on Instagram, switching platforms. That's how we got a lot of our content. I heard the family saying all the small things. Like, that's nice.
Yeah, that was cute.
I think that there is no Dolce & Gabbana suit that fits Corey Gamble. So they were like, listen, you gotta stay home.
We can't dress you.
Yeah.
Well, the good news is, everyone, is that it's over. The wedding is over. So we're hoping that she's drinking everything she needs to drink to get pregnant so they can start the next phase of their life. Well, let's move on to the polo field, shall we? It's time to stomp the turrets because Prince Harry has just taken the field. I think we call it a field. And a source told People that at his most recent polo match, Harry was just one of the guys. When it came, he's been at the Santa Barbara Polo and Racket Club near the Montecito home where he shares with Meghan Markle and their 2 children. And an observer, told the outlet that Prince Harry looked comfortable and happy on the polo field and just one of the guys. His presence brought a really cool vibe to the club. It hasn't changed the way the games have been played. It's business as usual, and all the teams are fighting for the win, the observer said. Harry was competing on a team called Los Padres alongside longtime pal Nacho Figueras. Prince Harry brought his longtime passion for the sport to his new home in recent weeks. However, his competitors have made him work for his success, and the team has won 2 tournaments already. And honestly, I'm just happy Prince Harry's getting out of the house because we don't see them going anywhere, no restaurants, no showing up to philanthropic galas, very few work things. I could count on my 2 hands probably the last time they've left the house in the last couple of years.
So I loved seeing him play polo. I loved seeing Meghan in an outfit that was obviously inspired by Julie Roberts in Pretty Woman. She was wearing a polka dot blouse with cool like knee-length Bermuda shorts and a hat. And she looked really awesome in it. However, I wish she would have worn something that was a little more original, because I think the only reason why she would have worn that outfit is for fine establishments such as ours to post articles about how she was channeling Julie Roberts in Pretty Woman. Yeah. So
Gwen, would you have preferred a dress with the Virgin Mary on it?
Absolutely not. Maybe God Save the Queen. That would have been amazing.
Ooh, I like that.
However, I just, it's like the thirst is insatiable.
I don't really care about polo. I thought the pictures were cute, but I'm really just looking forward to this Platinum Jubilee next week, because we know that Meghan and Harry and the kids are supposed to be making their way to London for it. And I know that Thursday is the parade that they were not invited to be on the balcony of because they do not work for the Queen anymore. Yeah. And the palace wasted no time clarifying after Harry and Meghan confirmed their attendance. They about 30 seconds later said, well, we'll see you there, but you will not be on the balcony, which is what everyone is looking to.
You'll be getting your GA, general admission band.
Yes, literally. You will not be VIP at the Queen's Jubilee. You are the public. If you want to, give her props, you can.
Pull up a lawn chair.
Exactly. I hope you start camping out early. So I'm excited for that. But because then what I've read is that Friday there's like a some sort of ceremony that's where Harry and Meghan will be, probably with the family at. So I will be, of course, looking at every single, glance in someone's direction, just over analyzing the way Us Weekly does best with a body language expert. What is the status with these people? I hope we see the kids interact. Like, I would love to see Archie and like Louis running around, like Charlotte holding Lilibet. Like, there's so much opportunity here, and I don't want to be disappointed.
Yeah, I hope we get all of that too, because that is what the royals give us, right? Those are the moments that the British, country folk pay for. And yes, I really hope that they get it literally. So I really hope they get their money's worth with some really cute interactions with the kids, a lot of pomp and circumstance, just celebrating the Queen. It's a happy time. But yes, the tensions could not be higher with Meghan and Harry. Sources have told us that Harry and William aren't really cool yet. The source told us that there's still a lot of tension between them that they need to get over before they move forward. Of course, there's lots of tension with Charles. I think everybody has tension with Camilla these days, but it's going to be an interesting ride to see. I just thought it was so weird with Harry's polo match that they, left royal life because they were trapped in this castle and not allowed to do anything. And now they've trapped themselves in their Montecito home castle and they never leave. Like he's gone out for now 3 sporting events and it's front page news that he's left the house. It seems like a lot of work to go from trapping yourself in one castle to sort of trapping yourself in another. So I hope that this is healing for all of the families involved, because God, I just can't take any more of the animosity. Well, let's move on, because Sarah Huron, I know this is a big week for you because your queen is in the news and she has a new relationship with a hot Euphoria star. Let's talk about Olivia Jade and Jacob. I always say it wrong. Elderoy.
Lordy.
Damn it! Every time.
Elderoy.
Elderoy.
Lordy.
Olivia Jade Giannulli and Jacob Elordi.
Oh, cute.
I always remember it because it rhymes with Lordy. He's hot.
That's good. Thank you, Gwen. Lordy, he's hot. Yeah. Sarah, what can you tell us? Just, being a personal fan about Olivia Jade and Jacob Elordi.
That's right. Okay, so Olivia Jade and Jacob Elordi of Euphoria fame and of college cheating scandal fame were first spotted together late last year.
Rowing team fame.
Yes, rowing extraordinaire Olivia Jade Giannulli were first spotted together late last year. I think it was December. And then a few spottings here and there. Since then, most recently, she was seen leaving his house. And a source told us that they are dating. It is not serious as of right now. They both got out of relationships recently, so they're not rushing into anything, is what a source told us at the time. And now they are officially, they're getting to know each other.
But it's been like a year. They haven't known each other yet. I feel like, I know a source told us that it's new and nothing serious, but they've been spotted.
It's been like 6 months.
It's been 6 months. That seems like a little bit more than a new fling. I know that they're working and not in town all the time, but we've seen them together a lot.
Well, we know he's working.
We know he's working. That's a very, very good point.
I love her, but I
know.
I don't know how busy she is. But yeah, I think that is wild. And I hope that they get serious, because imagine Jacob Elordi bringing Olivia Jade to HBO events and the Met Gala and real A-lister stuff, because she hasn't really gotten there. And I think she was trying to make a name for herself pre-scandal and had it was big in the YouTube world, but that's obviously different.
Yeah.
And then we see YouTubers now at things like the Met Gala. And in another world, if this scandal didn't happen, could Olivia Jade have been there with Charlie and Dixie D'Amelio, with Addison Rae? I mean, she had numbers like them on YouTube. She was a beauty influencer, but then it, quickly turned. So I would love to know what Jacob Elordi's family, if they know about the college shooting scandal. I know he's not from America. What they think. I need more.
Oh, Lordy. Happy for the two of them. There's been lots of relationship switch ups in hot Hollywood with Austin Butler and Kaya Gerber, who used to be linked to Jacob Elordi. And of course, Austin Butler was with Vanessa Hudgens. There's just lots of swapping between young, hot, pretty people in Hollywood, even more than usual these days. Well, let's take it to the courtroom, as we do. Now, the toxicity of the Johnny Depp and Amber Heard trial is just eating at my soul. So the only thing I wanted to, but lucky, the only reason I bring it up is because it's almost over. Closing arguments are set for Friday, and the jury will begin deliberations that day. They have finished one side of the trial, the Johnny Depp accusing Amber Heard, and now her countersuit is going to be over really quickly. But I only want to talk about Kate Moss, because anytime Kate Moss shows up anywhere, it's just a great day. And even though this was under the worst of circumstances, I was still happy to see Kate Moss take the stand. Now, she was a pro Johnny Depp witness here, saying she only took the stand for 5 minutes. It was quick in and out. And she said, he did not beat me. He did not push me. He did not throw me down the stairs. And that was about it. But Gwen Flamberg, I know you've been a Kate Moss fan for a minute now. What did you think of her, trial moment?
Kate Moss is always a good idea.
Yes.
So guys, let me just regale you with the fact that in the 90s, I was at a nightclub in New York City right next to Johnny Depp and Kate Moss when they were dating.
Nice.
And their energy was anything but aggressive towards each other. Those two had a serious bond. I love
Kravis style.
that, I mean, like actually a real bond, actually a real, not marketed bond. Yes. I just love that she took the stand, and she was, you know, a witness for Johnny Depp's character, but it wasn't like it felt put on or overly slated towards one side or the other. She just took the stand to basically claim fact that Amber Heard brought up in a trial that she had heard.
Right.
That when they were together, Johnny Depp had pushed her downstairs and had abused her, which I don't even understand. Like, in a courtroom, I'm no lawyer, but isn't that hearsay? Like, shouldn't that have been stricken from the record regardless? Anyway, I
go Elwoods.
You know, listen.
She feels comfortable using legal jargon in everyday life.
I object.
I've got some lawyers in my life, guys, but I really like that she just took the stand just to refute that point and to speak the truth, because if anything, this trial will go down as just being like Schadenfreude for so much real hearsay and, you know, character slinging against each other. As I have said before, when we've brought up this story, nobody wins in this case because both of them have been completely smeared just by, you know, having the case in general. But, you know, God save the Queen and God save Kate Moss.
My favorite part of the trial this week was the psychologist who was like testifying to say that Johnny Depp had like behavioral issues or something.
Yeah.
And that they asked Johnny Depp's lawyers were asking like, do you think that because of what you've seen in like his movies? Like they were trying to like get like kind of a sense of who this psychiatrist, like what he even knows of Johnny Depp. And he was like, I've only ever seen him interact with people in interviews, not movies. And the attorney's like, Willy Wonka doesn't matter to you? Have you seen Charlie and the Chocolate Factory? And the like psychiatrist like starts like licking his lips all weird. Like the whole scene was so confusing. And Johnny Depp like puts his hand in his that his head in his hand, and the whole thing was so bizarre. And like, never forget about Willy Wonka. You know, that's like what was my takeaway.
Yeah. Don't forget about Willy Wonka. It was very creepy. Well, speaking of things that are creepy but fun to watch, do you guys know what it's time for?
Oh my God,
it's time for Celebrity Birthday Boxing Mania. And guys, we only have 4 celebrities in the Celebrity Birthday Boxing Mania ring, but we will have a referee because today, let the Lord be with him. It is Scott Disick's birthday. He is 39 years old today. He's having a rough week. So just, I won't say good vibes to Scott because he's still on my crap list, but okay vibes to Scott, and happy birthday. Well, let's get into it. Gwen, the first match is up to you. We have Stevie Nicks, who is going to be 74 this week, versus Helena Bonham Carter, who is going to be 56 this week.
I mean, ostensibly a tough match because Helena Bonham Carter is super awesome, amazing. However, Stevie Nicks is the queen. Like, I don't even know who else can face off this week. Even Scott Disick knows that Stevie Nicks is the queen.
She is, and she's a witchy woman. She's got spells up her sleeve. It's going to be like a Harry Potter battle up in there.
So does Helena Bonham Carter. She literally was in Harry Potter as well.
Oh, yeah. I forgot.
I'm on book 5, everyone, in case you were wondering.
Keep going.
Thank you for the update. Thank you for the update. Well, Sarah, this next match is to you. We have Lenny Kravitz, who is looking fine at 58 years old. Seriously, I mean, it's so good for 58 years old. Make us all feel bad about ourselves. Lenny versus Brian Greenberg, One Tree Hill star. And I know, you know, in Sarah's heart, 44 years old this week.
I mean, I know that 99 out of 100 people would say Lenny Kravitz, but I am that one. I am that one girl who still cares about One Tree Hill. Brian Greenberg, dad of twins recently. Jake Jagelski, congrats on an award for the first time in I don't know how long.
Love him. Obsessed with his wife, but obsessed with Jamie Chung forever. So happy they have twins, and can't believe he beat Lenny Kravitz in this battle. All right, Gwen.
Shocking.
Stevie Nicks and Brian Greenberg walk into a boxing ring. What happens?
I mean, Stevie Nicks would sing some sweet, sweet ballads because, you know, Brian Greenberg, I think, likes those. Yeah.
He can sing too. He sang on One Tree Hill. He's got, I mean, he's no Stevie Nicks, but he can play guitar. Yeah.
I didn't know
Right. So
that.
maybe, she would grace him with a little duet before just knocking him the F out.
Exactly.
Yes, hit him with your broom, Stevie. Cover him in layers of fabric on your skirt. We love you. Well, happy birthday to everybody. Stevie Nicks, 74. Brian B. Greenberg, 44. You never stood a chance, but we still like you. And thanks to my hosts, Sarah and Gwen, for helping me spill all of this piping hot celebrity this week. Again, this is Travis Pert on Us Weekly's Hot Hollywood podcast with your weekly peek into the glamour, glitter, fashion, fame of your favorite celebrities. Because after all, guys, it seems like they aren't, but celebrities, they're really
Just like us.
Oh my God, record it, print it, our best one. Thank you guys so much for tuning in, and we will be back next week with a new episode. See you then.
Bye.
Bye.
Hey everyone, I'm Christina Garibaldi, the host of Us Weekly Celebrity Coverage. Don't forget to hit subscribe for the latest celebrity news, tips, and video. And for much more content, make sure you head on over to usmagazine.com, the official home of Us Weekly magazine.